to Liberty University President Jerry Falwell Jr. He is also an Iowa surrogate for the President of the United States, who, by the way, did win Iowa tonight. Not that that was in doubt. Very, very good to have you. Thank you for coming.
Good to be with you, Neil.
You know, we always debate this whole caucus thing back and forth because it confuses a lot of people. It's not an up and down vote. In this case, it might be 3 different votes, 3 different results, but it's still very endearing as a process that we can't shake. What do you think of it?
I was impressed. I just came from a small town, Denison, Iowa, where they had booked a room much smaller than what they needed. They thought since it was a foregone conclusion that Trump would win, that it wouldn't be a big turnout, but there was a huge turnout. And so I spent time there sharing with the group how it would be absolute lunacy to go away from a president who has created 7 million jobs, has got the GDP up to 2.5 over 1.6 average in Obama years, who has, for the first time, the first Republican in my lifetime, has actually kept his promises to the faith communities, appointed 178 federal judges that are strict constructionists, 2 of them Supreme Court judges, also pro-life. He's done things that he promised he would do. But the amazing thing about it is he did it without controlling the Senate the first 2 years. Yes, Republicans had a 52-48 majority, but there were 3 or 4 senators who always voted the wrong way when it came right down to it.
Well, did you get a sense from him, Jerry? I know you have a good relationship with him, that there's a particular candidate on the other side that he would love to run against, be concerned to run against?
I agree with what Ben Stein said on your program earlier. I don't think anybody over there can beat him. He knows it. It's just, he did, and just to finish what I was saying, he also did accomplish what he's accomplished without controlling the Congress in the second part of his term and being intact by the Democrats in this impeachment craziness. And, you know, it reminds me of the animated Lion King movie back in the 90s. The Democrats are acting like the hyenas in that movie. And I think it's because they're scared of what's going to come out from John Durham in the spring and summer, and they're trying to do a preemptive strike on the president, my personal opinion. But I think the president, it's to move from what he's done and from his business approach to this crazy Venezuelan, Cuban socialism is just, it boggles my mind that anyone would even seriously consider that.
All right, well, the Lion King reference was a first on this show, so touche to you, young man. Lee.
I'm just curious, you know, it's one thing to be dismissive of folks and say that their policies are crazy, or as you describe them. But I think there's a large amount of Americans out there, a large number of Americans out there who are saying that we don't want the president to be president. They're ashamed of America underneath him. They like the idea of these policies of Medicare for all. They like the idea of expanded government. They don't feel like the government is working for them. And I don't think that necessarily makes them bad people, right? It doesn't make them crazy. It doesn't make them anything. How do you make the case to them rather than being dismissive of them?
Good point. I think that the way you make the case is you say, look at your 401k. Look at your ability to finally buy a home after years of the slowest recovery in history. Look at how wages are rising. Look at how regulations are being reduced so businesses are able to hire more people. There's so many reasons, even if you don't like Donald Trump, even if you think he's rough around the edges or he's too coarse, he's getting results, and he's protecting our country, and he's killing trade deals. I think NAFTA sent more American jobs to other countries than it killed a lot of American industries, and USMCA is finally replacing that. No Republican president ever had the guts to do something that monumental. Same thing with China.
All right.
He's finally fighting back against China. I think you tell those people the facts, and a lot of them, when they hear the facts, they're surprised because they don't hear it from the media, except present company accepted. But it's
all right.
It's just something. It's something people are ignorant about.
Okay, Jerry, thank you very much. I'm going to put you as a maybe on some of the Democratic candidates for the time being. See how that goes?
Definite maybe on Bernie.
Maybe, definite
There you go.
maybe. Little bit.